Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm quite excited because I've prepared for you my 2024 planners and journals lineup. I've got quite the stack here of notebooks and planners, and I think I've narrowed it down pretty well and found the right system to use for me in 2024 for next year. I really can't wait to get started. I have some new planners, some that are old, and some that I'm going to be creating myself. So without further ado, let's just dive right in and start with the very first planner. So this planner that you see is actually a sterling ink standard size traveler's notebook. It has the gilded edges. It's the black linen, I believe it's called, and this is just a regular grid notebook, and I'm going to be using this notebook as my main planner. I was going to do a bullet journal, but then I started seeing all of these amazing layouts from other planner companies, and I just thought, why don't I just make my own and interpret those layouts to my needs? So that's what I did. As you can see here in this first page, this is just a little title page that I wrote out the year, and I'll probably be writing a key and a color coding in the very bottom. Next, I have this sort of future planning spread where I wrote down the little calendars on the top, and then I have like a space to write down events, appointments, maybe even habit tracking, which I'm terrible at, but there's room and possibility in these spreads to do that. And I just did that for every single month of the year for 2024. Next, I made a section to write out my yearly goals, and these goal categories I grabbed from the Moxie Life system. This is something that I've done this year for 2023, and it's been working great, so I thought I would continue that system for next year as well. So I created a page for each life category so that I can brainstorm each and every single one of my goals, projects, and ideas. The next set of pages are actually quarterly calendars, which at first I decided I was going to do project planning, and now I'm not very sure how I'm going to be doing that, but maybe this is a space just to check up on my goals or create habits or even do some future planning here as well if I run out of room in the other spread. So I did a spread for each quarter of the year. So this is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. After these set of pages, you jump right into the January monthly pages. So this is a space that I left to maybe decorate, do a title page, add like a little calendar sticker or something. And then I created in the next set of pages the actual monthly calendar. And I've been using the Sterling Ink dated sticker sets that she sells for her undated planners to help out in, making my spreads a little more neat and clear. And that way I don't have to write every single detail down. And it just looks a little bit more professional with the stickers. After the calendar, this is a spread that I made to write out my monthly goals that correspond to each of those 8 life categories that I will brainstorm at the beginning of the year. And this is just a place to break down those goals in a monthly view. Over on the right side, I have a spread to reflect on my month. So I have these preset questions that I also grabbed from the Moxie Live, and they're just to fill out once the month is over so that I can reflect on what goals went well, what didn't went well, etc. The next set of pages are just a blank spread that I've left just in case I need to plan out any particular project for that month, if I want to write down a collection. Here's just a list of ideas that I can write in here that I wrote on a post-it as a reminder. I can do wish list, favorites of the month, like a time log, a cleaning chore list, gratitude log, just a bunch of ideas that I could use this space for in case I don't have room in the following pages. I wanted to leave a little bit of flexibility into my month just in case I needed the space. And then we start with the actual planning pages. So I made a weekly spread that simulates the weekly spread that is in the Paper Test Designs B6 planner. I really liked that layout just because it's a little tiny table to write out your appointments, and then you have like a little column on the right in case you want to do some habit tracking or just a general weekly to-do list. And then the main part of this planner is actually going to be my daily pages. Now, I've done daily planning before. It's not my strongest, I'll admit. I'm more of a weekly planning person, but I do want to always challenge myself every single year to try new systems, so that in the hopes that they can help me, be more productive or stay on top of my tasks or my to-dos. So I thought that creating a daily planner would be helpful for me in that sense, and just because I've been very motivated in writing out every little to-do that I want to accomplish during the day, and that just helps me out. And also, I'm a very forgetful person, so that just writing down little things and details of the day helps me remind myself of things. So I haven't really figured out the layout of the daily pages. I'm brainstorming a few ideas, but basically this is the entire layout that's going to be throughout the entire planner. You have your calendar, your goals, reflections, flexible pages for whatever is needed, and then my weekly followed by my daily pages. And that's done throughout the entire book. I actually calculated the amount of pages that it will take me till the end of the year because I haven't finished, setting up the planner still. And unfortunately, when I get to December, I'm not going to have enough room for daily pages that take up a full spread. So what I might have to do is break down each day into 2 parts for 1 page. But that's a problem for a year later because we are not even in January yet, but we shall see. By then, I'm pretty sure I will have a planner that has already started the December month. So not a big issue. Anyway, so like I said, I'm planning out how I'm going to lay out my daily spreads. So I have this insert that I was gifted in Go Wild, and I thought it would be perfect because it's the exact same size as the planner. And I did a little bit of sketching of how I want to structure my daily spreads. I found a bunch of inspiration on Pinterest, also from, regular daily planners that are out there in the market, like Day Designer, Erin Condren, things like that. So I just kind of, transferred their style into this TN size or regular TN size. And I've just been brainstorming a whole bunch of ideas in this little insert until I actually get to start my planner. And hopefully by then, when I start it, I'll have a clear view of what I want. So this is the main planner that I'm going to be using for the entire year. I'm really excited. I put a little picture on the front and I can't wait to get started. Next up is this Nolte planner that you might have seen if you watched my previous video talking about my 2023 review planners. So this is a weekly planner that I was gifted by my cousin, which I've been using as my memory keeping daily highlights planner. I like to be creative in here and write out little anecdotes of my daily doings. And I'm not very strict about it. I just write a few things per day and it's been pretty easy to keep up with. Sometimes I'll leave a few weeks blank, but that's okay. This is just a planner used for fun and also to track and, memory log what I do. So in case you haven't watched my last video, this is the 9089 Nolte planner. It's very simple. It has the weekly spread on your left and then an empty lined page on the right for notes or whatever. You have some empty pages in the back of the month, and then you have your calendar as well if you want to do like little stickers or add some photos. It's very cute. It's a B6 size, but this planner only goes up to spring. I thought I would buy this cute A6 Kinboard planner. I was actually gonna get the Han Hobonichi, the new Han covers, but my budget this year has unexpectedly suffered some changes, so I decided that I would get the alternative, which is the Kinboard planner, and it was super cheap on AliExpress. I gotta say, this only cost me €5. It was such a deal. I've never bought a planner for €5 before and have it be the cutest, planner. They've actually improved their planners quite a lot since the last time I bought a Kinboard. I think it was about like 6 years ago. I bought like a Hopany 2 Weeks alternative that was also Kinboard, and the paper quality was just really, really bad in comparison to what this Kinboard has transformed into. It's just a black PVC cover. It's very grayscale. It doesn't have a lot of color, just a few, red indentations. And the layout is so simple and neutral. I absolutely love it. You have yearly calendars on the very beginning, which I don't know if I'm going to use. Like I said, this is going to be just for memory keeping and journaling and, writing little highlights of what I do, maybe including some ephemera or adding photos or cutouts, or maybe one day I don't feel like writing and I can just like put a quote. I don't know. This journal is going to be very freestyle, so we shall see how this turns out. But as you can see, the layout is so similar to the Hobonichi, and in my opinion is even a little better because you don't have the quotes on the bottom. The monthly pages in the front are very neutral. I don't know, it's just a great planner. The grid is very faint, and even the paper, it feels like the Hobonichi. I know it's not Tomo River paper, but it's very similar. And then you have some empty pages in the very back in case you want to write out extra notes or thoughts. So overall, this planner is sort of going to be my substitute of my Note once my Note reaches March of 2024, and I'll just continue the year in this little A6 planner. Next up, we have another little black planner. This is actually a moleskin planner that I bought during the Black Friday sale. Like I said, Black Friday was, my moment to rethink my planner system a bit and include some planners that maybe I thought I was missing or not, So this planner here was only €9.99. That's because it's an 18-month planner, I believe. It starts in 2023 in, I believe, July or so, and ends in December 2024. So obviously there's a few months in the beginning which I won't be using, but I thought it was a deal to get a Moleskine pocket notebook planner for just $9.99. It's very cute. It has these little calendar pages in the very front, and then you have a yearly overview. You have some extra pages, line pages in the front to write out some thoughts or things. So basically this planner, which I haven't explained, is going to be my expense tracker. I am trying to be more mindful of where my money goes and what I spend, etc., etc. And I do want to start budgeting things because I always budget, or I try to budget, but then I never follow through, and that's because I don't keep a very good log of what I spend. So I thought this little pocket notebook was the perfect size to keep in my purse and take along with me whenever I go out shopping, and then I can easily write out all of my spendings. So over here I did a quick pen test because I know Moleskine is not great with their paper. As you can see, most of my pens bleed through, so I think I'm just going to use a regular ballpoint pen, and then for highlighting I might just use colored pencils or even Crayola crayons. So it's not that big a deal because again, this planner is going to be very functional for me. Here's an example of the way I'm planning on using it. So each day that I buy something or I spend money, I'm basically going to write out what the category is, if it's something personal, if it's for home, if it's medical, if it's utilities, etc. And then, write the amount. And then in the right page, I will total the sum of everything that I spent. And then hopefully in the very front, in this little timetable that I have over here, I might repurpose it and make it into like a yearly spread where I can total my amounts for each category. I don't know, I'm still working on the setup, but once I have that, I'll be sure to share with you all so that in case you're looking for something similar, it can give you some ideas. But I just thought it was the perfect size, again, because it's very light, it's easy to carry, it fits in every single bag that I own, so there's no excuse. I have to keep track of my expenses. Next up, we have this beautiful, so gorgeous, Erin Condren Take a Note notebook. This is a notebook that I got in my table at Go Wild, and I thought this would be the perfect notebook. It's actually a lined notebook, as you can see, with the gilded edges. It's so beautiful. I really love it. But this is the perfect notebook to keep writing my stream of conscious journaling. If you watched my previous video, again, I did mention that I have a notebook where I just basically write out any thoughts, rambles, or if I need to vent on anything in here. It's actually this yellow notebook that I was gifted a while back. I can't share much because it's very personal, but this notebook is actually finished. I finished it the other day, so I have found the perfect replacement, and it's this Erin Condren. It's a little bigger because the yellow one is a B6 size, and this one I believe is an A5, kind of slim. I wouldn't say it's a full A5 notebook, but it is a little bit narrower than an A5, and I just think it's the perfect notebook to keep like a Dear Diary style of journaling. And last but not least, we have this Nuna notebook. It's an A5 size notebook. You might have seen this also in my last video. This notebook is my reading journal. This is a notebook that I use to keep track of all the books that I read during the year. I like to do some reviews, create aesthetic pages, some goals. I like to do reading challenges as well. I've gotten into reading these past few years, and I always set some goals. Like, I'm not a very fast reader or anything. I have like an average of reading between 20 and 28 books a year, which is not that bad, but it's also not a lot. But yeah, so I like to use this notebook to keep a log of everything and just create my reviews. And because it's not a notebook that I write in every day, this has been used for the past 3 years, I believe. I started it in 2021, and of course I still have a bunch of pages left over, so this might be a notebook that will keep going, for the following years until it is full of my read books. And it's just a lot of fun to do. It's very creative for me. So there you have it. That is the entire stack of notebooks and planners that I would like to use on a consistent basis. A lot of these are not for every single day. Some are, some aren't. I don't want to be very strict about myself because every time I have a multiple planner system, for some reason I always fall off the bandwagon a couple of months in. Hopefully this won't be the case because obviously not all of these are for planning. Some of these are just for, fun, journaling. Others are, to be more productive. Others are just like a morning pages style. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up as that will help out my channel a lot. Hopefully keep posting more videos in the near future. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everybody.